Hey guys, this will be the first video of my net decking series called basically called the net decking series, where I take people's popular decks that are on the internet and I take them to locals to see how well I can do with it with zero practice. So I'm gonna go a second against the Value Turbolist, I believe. I think it's Value. No, this is Quickdraw. So I'm playing against Quickdraw on my first round. So I'm gonna be dealing with the T set here. I'll be playing Little Man's Amaryllis list, card for card, and see how well I do at locals. So he's going to do a T set. I'm going to summon the Lila here, and then I'm going to use the Lila effect to pop. He's going to try to bait me with the Heavy Storm here, and I'm going to use the Lila here. I used to trade in here to dump the Amaryllis, and I'm going to draw two. I could set a Wing Blast, and that doesn't feel too bad because the Heavy Storm is now gone. I'm going to go into the end phase, and I'm going to mill a Titanial. And then by milling the Titanial, I'll be able to bring out the Amaryllis. My opponent does main deck the DD Crow, though, so the DD Crow is going to be able to deal with the Amaryllis out of my graveyard. So off the bat, really bad start here. So he's going to flip the Raikou here, and he's going to target my back row. I'm going to chain the Dust Shoot, and then I'm going to take out the Kai's here. So now all I have to deal with now is a Debris Dragon, a Treeborn Frog, and a Trap Dust Shoot. So he can summon the Debris here, and then go into a level 8 Synchro, or he can go into battle phase to try to mitigate the Gore's damage so that he doesn't have to deal with Gore's in main phase 2. If he does do the wrong play, he could make the Archfiend, but the Archfiend can run over the Gores. So he's going to Dust Shoot me back, and then he's going to take out my only monster. But I do have Charged Light Brigade. I'm going to use the Hidden Armor here to search for DDR. DDR is going to allow me to bring out the Titanial and then run over the Stardust. So I think that's what I do here. Activate the DDR. I could use Charge first too. So I'm going to charge here. Mill my other Titanial. So already off to a good start here. Getting the Raikou. Using the DDR, discard the Raikou, I want to say. And then getting the Titanial. Although maybe I should have discarded the Foolish Burial. Not entirely sure what the correct play would be. Because I could set the Raikou theoretically, and then the Raikou can deal with any sort of card that he might set. So I'm going to activate the Foolish Burial here, send the Amaryllis. Amaryllis is going to banish the Titanial and then get the Amaryllis back. This puts more pressure on him to deal with the board. He's going to activate the Foolish here to discard the Dandelion, and then he's going to set a card here. So I can play around the potential Raikou, not so much the Hamster. So let's see what I do here. I think I attack over one of the tokens, and instead of attacking with the Amaryllis, I think I'm just going to leave it out there so that Titanial can have a negate for the future plays. So I'm going to set another back row here. He's already used up the Storm, so I'm not too afraid here. So he's going to set another card. Not sure what the new and old cards are. So I'm going to activate the Call the Haunted. So the one thing that's different about this list is that Call the Haunted is replacing the Scrap Iron Scarecrow because I don't own one. So now I mill a Dandelion here, so now I have 2 tokens. So already off to a really good start, but with a lot of pluses here. He's going to go out the Treeborn Frog, and then he's going to Pot of Avarice back everything. So him getting a +1 after all. So I have a Marco Rose in my hand. I have a lot of negations. Feeling pretty good about this situation. So let's see what happens here. He's going to draw 2 new cards, and now he's going to... If he tributes for Kai's, this feels pretty bad for him because the Titanial can deal with it. He's going to normal summon the card trooper here, and then he's going to attack over the Lila. That's going to deal 200 damage to me, and then I'm at 7,400 life points. All right, he sets a back row and passes. I have a Botanical Lion. If I summon the Botanical Lion, that walks into the Wind Blast, or not the Wind Blast, but the Torrential. I don't see a Torrential. I do see a Torrential in his graveyard, so it doesn't play around the Mirror Force too well. So not sure what I can do here. Wind Blasting seems correct. I'm probably going to target the face down, and it's an MST. I'm going to negate the MST here to protect the Titanial from dying. Normal summon the Botanical Lion. Go into battle phase, attack over the Treeborn, or the Card Trooper. Botanical Lion now has a boost in attack. I'm going to use the Amaryllis, and he's going to set another Dandelion, so he's going to float with more Dandelions here. End phase, I'm going to bring out the Amaryllis once more, giving me the Amaryllis wall. He's going to normal summon the top deck Lone Fire, and then he's going to go into a Titanial here. So the Titanial can attack into my Titanial and clear it, or he can attack over... Sorry for the glare. He can attack over the Botanical Lion, but the Botanical Lion has 2,100 attack points, so... his best play is probably going to be crashing the Titanial into my Titanial. Nope, he's going to attack over the token, and he's going to set a back row. Let's see what happens here. I draw into a Wind Blast, I believe, with no discard. Wind Blast always feels kind of bad if you're top decking into it with no cards in hand. And this deck kind of like to go as balls to the wall. So I'm gonna shift the Amaryllis to attack position, and if he does mirror force me, it's gonna feel really bad. Amaryllis is gonna run over the cluster. I do have the choice here to trade into Titanial, so he doesn't really run over my monster. I'm gonna set the Wind Blast and then go into Amaryllis here, banishing the Titanial. So yep, maybe I should have kept the Wing Blast in my hand if it didn't have any utility, because I could theoretically draw into a Hidden Armory, and then mill it, mill my mill one, and then get my DDR back. So this is kind of forcing me to go into the play where I Wind Blast the Titanial here, and then he's gonna negate it. So Amaryllis is gonna come out again. He's gonna DD Crow. So I'm gonna activate the Amaryllis again. He's gonna set a back row. So somehow, even having so much advantage, I was unable to take him out. I could attack here, but I don't want to like leave him with more cards. I set a back row, and he's gonna activate the Morphing Jar. So the Morphing Jar gets him back in the game here. So what of a turn of event here, and he also activates the Avarice here to get back more into the game. So I draw into more cards that don't really do anything. The trade-ins don't do anything unless I draw into another Titanial, but I've been milling Titanial. So series of good cards for my quick draw opponent player, and he was able to come back in this game with the Morphing Jar top deck, and also the DD Crow to hit the Amaryllis. And now he has a Titanial back on the board with the Lone Fire. So even though it felt like I was winning, I was not able to win this game. It looks like it doesn't. I'm unable to win this game with only 2,900 life points on the clock. I don't have much plants left in my graveyard. He's gonna banish my Amaryllis so that I won't be able to get the burn effect, and my Amaryllis won't be able to clear any of his monsters because Junk Archer has 2,300 attack points. So I could crash the Amaryllis, but it's not gonna feel too good. I do have the option here to activate the Hidden Armor here so that I can get DDR, and then discarding the Nectar Gardener from my hand. So I'm going to activate the DDR here. Hopefully he doesn't have MST or a way to deal with this. Most likely he does because he set so much back rows. Could even be a Solemn Judgment too. Let's see what happens here. He does Solemn Judgment here, getting him down to 1450. So the trick here now is if I can get Amaryllis to die like twice, I can win the game. So I think I go into battle phase here to try to crash the Amaryllis into the Junk Archer. And then the Necro Gardener is going to block out. No, he can't block out an attack. And I can't normal summon either. The two trade-ins are dead. So most likely what's going to happen here is I'm going to set 2, and then I'm going to pass here. So the Scrap Iron Scarecrow actually prevents me from losing. He's going to try to play around the Mirror Force. So hopefully this is the part where he puts his monster defense, and he does. I'm going to actually activate the Necro Gardener here to block out the attack. So that gives me a more turns to play the game here. Try to bluff out the Mirror Force here. So let's see what happens here. He's going to normal summon the Debris here, and then special summon a Dandelion. Now he's going to go into an Ancient Fairy Dragon or a 2 Dandelions. Well, for sure 2 Dandelions. So let's see what happens here. So it's going to go into Ancient Fairy Dragon defense position, getting 2 tokens. So this makes it so that the Titanial can negate stuff. Get back the Amaryllis here. Now I have to find a way to put Amaryllis back in the graveyard by getting it destroyed. He's not going to be attacking it. So already kind of like pretty much bamboozled by the fact that he was able to come back in this game despite me having such a huge lead in the game. But the Morphing Jar definitely helped. So I'm going to normal summon the Lone Fire here and then go into the last Titanial. So the Titanial here can do damage. So what I can do here is Titanial attacks the Junk Archer. He's going to Scrap Iron Scarecrow here to block out the Junk Archer. And then he's going to... And I can just crash the Amaryllis to the Junk Archer, and he's going to take 800 life points. So that's what a play I can do. I'm going to attack the token, and then I'm going to attack over the Junk Archer here. Okay, so now the Junk Archer is dead, and he has 950, so not quite enough yet. I do have a Lone Fire in my graveyard, so if Amaryllis does die, I can deal 800 damage to him. So he's going to put the Titanial to attack position to try to like finish off my Titanial, I think. Or he can attack over the Amaryllis. He's going to trade. So now I just have to find a way to do some damage. He's going to special summon another... He's going to probably make another... He's going to make Ancient Fairy Dragon, I think. Yeah, I think he's going to make another Ancient Fairy Dragon. Because the Amaryllis is in attack position, and then the Black Rose is not going to do anything here. So pretty much I'm at odds here. I do only have 4 cards left in my deck, so I think that's what he's trying to do, is wall off using the Scrap Iron Scarecrow. I draw into a Raikou, so I can set the Raikou here to pop the Scrap Iron Scarecrow, so that I can use Amaryllis twice. So that's kind of my plan here. Another play I can do here is summon the set the card trooper or plague, I guess, and then make a Catastor so that I can deal with his Ancient Fairy. But I don't think Catastor is going to be enough to deal with Scrap Iron Scarecrow every turn. So the Scrap Iron Scarecrow was actually a good main deck for him. He sets another back row and he sets another monster. So yeah, it's so close yet so far with this situation. So he's going to put the Ancient Fairy Dragon to attack position, running over the Raikou. And I'm going to mill 3 here to destroy the face down card. So the Mirror Force gets milled, unfortunately for me. And now I can't even deal with his monsters. And I only have 1 turn to game him, and I can't kill him. I draw into a Heavy Storm, but unfortunately the Heavy Storm's not going to do anything. Maybe I should have waited for the Heavy Storm so that I could... No, it doesn't matter. Heavy Storm was the last card in my deck. So if I didn't use the Raikou to mill 3, maybe I would have had a better shot at winning this game. I'm looking at a DDR in my graveyard, so maybe... but I used DDR several times this game, didn't I? So yeah, he compulsories my Amaryllis. So yeah, setting the 2 trade-in doesn't feel too good, but at the same time, I couldn't draw 2 cards anyways, even if he compulsed my guy. So I lose game 1. Really strange turn of events, but it seems like everyone's prepared for Amaryllis now. Having the Junk Archer in the main deck as a main deck choice to out it, but also main deck Steedy Crow as well. Even in the Frog meta, feels kind of correct too as well. So it would make sense that people are main decking stuff against Amaryllis, but as well as Frogs as well. So I lose game 1 through a series of good top decks on his part as well. Being able to see the Morphing Jar, but also being able to see back-to-back Avarice off the Morphing Jar when my trade-ins are kind of dead. So I don't know if I made any real errors playing this on game 1. Maybe I was too, I don't know, maybe MSTing the Wind Blasting the MST on a face down monster. I don't know. It was kind of bad. Also seeing the Scrap Iron Scarecrow too was pretty good for him. But I mean, what are you gonna do? So the Scrap Iron Scarecrow effectively wards off the Amaryllis from like burning them. So anyways, games 2, I decided to side deck Dust Tornadoes for the Scrap Iron Scarecrow, but this deck also plays a lot of back row too, so I'm going to try to Dust Tornado those cards as well. Keeping in Starlight Road as well because of Black Rose Dragon. I contemplate whether I want to keep the Karma Cut in. I take it out immediately because Karma Cut I think it's only for the Christias Sworn matchups, so I can banish all the Christias. So we're gonna go to game 2 here, and so now I think I'm going first. Did I go first for the first game? I don't think I did. Yeah, I don't think I did. I think I lost a die roll. So now we're gonna go into games 2 here. I'm gonna draw my 6 cards, and I see my Titanial. So I'm gonna summon the Lone Fire here, going to Lone Fire and Titanial. Okay. I don't know if it's correct to do this with Amaryllis. Should I go into double Lone Fire and then go Titanial, or should I just go Lone Fire one time, hopefully to draw into the second one? I don't know. Seeing that I have the Titanial in my hand, it doesn't feel too good. So I'm going to Dust Shoot him, and I'm going to put back the Dandelion, I believe. And then I'll deal with Gores another way. Maybe I should have let him have the Dandelion so that he can go into Drill Warrior. No. I mean, I did have a DD Crow in my hand, but it feels kind of bad. So I'm going to attack directly here. I do have the Mirror Force to deal with the Gores here. I'm going to Wing Blast the token away so that his Gores is actually not too bad. Maybe here I shouldn't have brought out the Amaryllis because he can attack over the Amaryllis with the Gores. So maybe I should have waited here because it's technically resource. I don't know why I did this play. I should have definitely flipped the... leave the Amaryllis in the grave. So the Kalahana would have been a Scrap Iron Scarecrow if I had it. But this is fine too because this puts a second Titanial on the board, which is fine. And if he does Mirror Force, it's going to feel pretty bad. But he doesn't Mirror Force here or Scrap Iron Scarecrow. And I'm going to bring out the Amaryllis once more. So now he's going to go special on the Quickdraw, discarding 1 card, and he's just going to set 2 more back row. So he's on the back foot. I'm going to put the Amaryllis to defense or attack mode and put Titanial to defense. He's going to Scrap Iron Scarecrow, and that's going to make the attack get fizzled. He's going to lose the quick draw in the attack declaration. He's going to set more. I do have the hidden armory here. I could go into a DDR play here. However, I don't really have any titanium in defense position. So, yeah. He's just going to mill rather than use the effect because he wants to mill, I believe. Activate the hidden armor here, milling the Lila. I could get a Mark of the Rose, but he doesn't have a monster I can get. I'm going to use the titanium DDR again, discarding the Dandelion, getting the Lone Fire Blossom, and then going into a Botanical Lion in defense position. Okay. So he's only had 700 life points. All I have to do is 800 damage, and I should win this game. So now all he has to do is I just pretty much DD Crow is his pot of avarice, and my Amaryllis, he has to find a way to deal with it. So yeah, I win game 2 because Call of Hana is actually pretty decent replacement, even though I don't have the Scrap Iron Scarecrow. Yeah, I like Call of Hana. What can I say? I do decide to take out the Heavy Storm, which is really surprising to me against this matchup. Definitely should not be siding out Heavy Storm. Heavy Storm's really good against this deck because even though if he does have the Starlit Road, I can still hit his back row and do my play, hitting like Scrap Iron Scarecrow. So I'm not entirely sure why I kept taking that out. So I take out the Call of Hana here, and then I think I put back the Heavy Storm. I don't know what I was thinking that day. Call of Hana loses to Vanity's Fiend, and although he did have the Vanity's Fiend in his opening hand, I did go first, and then putting the Titanium on the board makes his Vanity's Fiend and loses value. So I guess that's the reason why I kept the Call of Hana back in, because Vanity's Fiend doesn't do anything in me in game 1 if I open up a Lone Fire. So, and I also have Dust Shoot to deal with Vanity's Fiend too. So yeah, we're gonna go into game 3 now. Let's see what happens. So I draw my 5 cards. I do have a Lone Fire. I could summon this right away and go into a Lone Fire, into a Titanium, but unfortunately he Dust Shoots me. So yep, I mean it's fair. I Dust Shoot him 2 games. He's gonna Dust Shoot me on game 3. So let's see what happens here. I think Charged Light Brigade's gonna come down here, and I'm mill 3, and then I have the option here to summon Lila to pop the back row, if I'm guessing. And then this way, if he does have a Raikou, it'll just be a 1-for-1 as opposed to a +1. So, and the reason why I say that is because my Lila can get a trade here. So I do have the option here also activate Hidden Armory, but it doesn't feel too good. Using the Lila to pop the Dust Tornado is good here, but I don't have any back row, so it doesn't really matter. So now if that's a Raikou and he pops, it's going to feel good for me. This feels really good for me. Now he trades the Caius. He trades the Debris Dragon. So pretty much Lila dealt with Debris Dragon as well as Dust Tornado. So that's pretty good trade for me. I'm going to hit an armor here, try to get the Mark of the Rose. And then by using the Mark of the Rose, I could use the... looks like I'm going to go for the play here where I DDR. He's going to not Solemn Judgment my Lila. And so I set the Wind Blast and tries to mill. And I mill a Titanium. So the Titanium being a plant monster means I can bring out the Amaryllis. He's going to summon the Debris Dragon. And then he doesn't have a target. Wow, okay. So I think he just uses it so he can run over the Lila. He does the attack order where he attacks with the Caius into the Lila. So I'm going to use the Wing Blast here to give him the Caius back. Now my Amaryllis can deal with the Debris. Hopefully. I draw into another Amaryllis, which feels really bad. Hopefully this doesn't get Scrap Iron Scarecrowed, and I deal with the Debris Dragon. So the Caius is dead now. I know the Caius is going to come down. So now I banish Amaryllis for Amaryllis. Sometimes I do wish that this particular build plays not Return from Different Dimension, but Burial. So I can put the Amaryllis back in games 2 and 3 because people tend to side deck Soul Release and DD Crow in the deck. And that makes it so that my Amaryllis never gets to resolve. And so I get hands where I'm drawing like a bunch of Amaryllis, waiting for a trade-in, and I do finally draw into it, which is nice. I'm going to use the Hidden Armory to get the DDR. And I think I used the DDR here after I declare an attack, and he takes 3,000 damage. So already getting closer to lethal for him. Maybe I should have used DDR right away, but he bottomlesses it. So he bottomlesses Titanium, going back to where she came from, and the Amaryllis is going to come down again. If he doesn't draw a monster that can contest the Amaryllis is going to attack him for game here. Alright, so I draw into a Dandelion here. I don't have any plants in my graveyard except for Amaryllis. I could use Mark of the Rose, and I think that's what I do. and I pay the cost to banish the Amaryllis. So I think what I do here is attack, and then he takes 800, and I set the Dandelion. So setting the Dandelion here was incorrect, because by setting the Dandelion here, if I draw into Hidden Armory, I now don't have a fodder. So, yep, I draw into Hidden Armory. See, so I should have definitely kept the Dandelion in my hand. This way I could have discarded. Now I have to lose the Crow. And this Crow discard is actually going to cost me the game. I feel like it's going to cost me the game. Summon the Lone Fire, tribute the Lone Fire, and then go into Titanium again. So now he's going to compulse. Definitely should have flipped the Dandelion before I used DDR here. Because I would have been able to negate the compulsory and then end the game. So definitely misplay on my part. So I blame this on inexperience for the most part, but also I should have just logicked it out that he couldn't have had the other cards. So he's gonna I'm gonna synchro summon into a Android, I believe. And now all I have to do is clear him, but he stalls with Dandelion again. So I'm gonna use Amaryllis once more, and then hopefully I can use Amaryllis twice. He's gonna normal summon debris here, going to a level 7 synchro or level 8. If he makes a level 8 here, the Red Dragon Archfiend is gonna clear all my guys in defense. I think I make another mistake here where I Necro Gardener this attack when I should not have done that, because Amaryllis in defense mode makes it so that he can't attack my Amaryllis or my defense position tokens. So he Avarices here, and he draws into 2 back row. I think he draws into 2 back rows. Yep. So that was a mistake. I should have definitely left the Android in defense, or let the Android die here. So I make another crucial misplay where I shift the Amaryllis to attack position, hoping to get the Amaryllis to go to the graveyard manually, but then he draws into the Scrap Iron Scarecrow. I draw into a dead Dust Shoot, which doesn't do anything for me in this particular situation. So I activate the Foolish Burial. I could dump another Plant Monster, in which I do, and then I can get the Amaryllis again. However, the issue is, now that he can. So this was another misplay here. I should have not left the Amaryllis in. I shouldn't have put the Android defense position. I think that's what the other misplay was. So now he's going to keep drawing back row. My Amaryllis can't deal with 1 Scrap Iron Scarecrow, and he can't attack, but that's fine for him, I guess. He's going to destroy my Trap Dust Shoot, sacrifice for Caius. Yep. And that's pretty much game for him, because unless I top deck something like Burial, I can't come back in this game. And I don't have Burial in this main deck. So, yep. Draw into a Lila, which is not going to do much. Even if I set it, it's not going to do anything. So, I don't know what I draw. I have a Titanium. I normal summon Lila, pop the back row. And then hopefully I mill something. Yep, I mill into a Dandelion. So, but the Dandelion's not going to do anything. Yeah, so I just lose. Yeah, so unfortunately for me, I was unable to clutch out the game despite the fact that he only had 14 life points. Him being able to draw the Scrap Iron Scarecrow would stop me, but also putting the Necro Gardener, the Red Dragon Archfiend, cost me the game as well. I should have left the Amaryllis in defense position, because then he can't attack with Red Dragon Archfiend, because Red Dragon Archfiend deals with all my defense position cards, and that's including the Amaryllis. So yeah, we'll just chalk this up to inexperience. Definitely should have played better on a lot of situations. My opponent also drew really well too in games 3 and games 1 as well, being able to draw a series of cards that can get him back in the game. But that's quick draw for you, because they can play really good recovery in game 1. But anyways, we're going to go into round 2 on the next segment of the video, or the next video, so stay tuned for that one.